Hi, I'm Brian Rubel. We're here at the MTG Deal's Legacy Tournament in Southern California. I'm here with Ben Bateman, and we're going to go over his blue-black something deck. What exactly do you call this deck?
The official name is Strixes and Swayze. It's a tribute to Patrick Swayze. I'm a huge fan, and the namesake card, which we'll get to.
All right, sounds good. Well, we'll just get right to it then. So the deck looks pretty standard starting off from the top. We've got your standard, ponders and brainstorms, the kind of stuff you see in tempo decks. We've got your dazes, spell pierces, and forces, all the way up to your snapcasters for the reuse, reanimates and others, and Inquisition of Kozilek. So you want to tell me a little bit kind of about your disruption, counter magic suite, how that kind of interacts with the deck?
All right, so I first got into Legacy. I wanted to build Rug Delver. It was a little too expensive, so I decided to kind of make my own value deck. The interaction between Snapcaster Mage and Unearth, with a lot of other tools in the deck, Disruption, card draw especially, was very attractive to me. Inquisition I chose as a 4-of instead of Thoughtseize for financial concerns, and also because I generally don't find I'm really afraid of most cards. You want to go the full 8 cantrips, definitely, and Force of Will at 3 seems to be kind of the sexy number these days. I have the 4th one in the sideboard, so.
Okay, gotcha. Now, do you find that that Thoughtseize would do more hurt to you if you took the damage, or do you prefer Inquisition over that if you didn't have to worry about the monetary value of the card?
I do choose to eschew life gain, so yeah, the Thoughtseize definitely hurts me with the number of fetch lands that Legacy decks tend to run. I definitely feel like I get what I need out of Inquisition. I win more games with a turn 1 Inquisition than like most games I play. The reason I'm at 1 Reanimate instead of 3 Unearth is obviously it can get things out of their graveyard, which is very, very valuable. But that's the life there. It's like you got to pick and choose where you take it. So
awesome. So we'll go ahead and move on to the rest of the pretty much main deck. So we've got the creatures, Vendilion Click, Delver, pretty standard in tempo or pretty much all decks. Tombstalker seeing a little bit of play. Tombstalker, that guy's seen in Team America decks, and then we drop it down with Jace, Runechanter Spike, and the big one, Baleful Strix, out of the Plane Chase 2012 deck. What exactly is it that made you choose Baleful Strix?
Well, it's such an awesome card when it comes to value. It's 2 mana. It's a gold card. It looks really good. It flies. Death Touch draws you a card. It's an artifact creature. It's like everything that a player like me actually wants out of a card. And then you start to combine that with something like Unearth and Snapcaster Mage, and just the whole I'm gonna play Unearth for Snapcaster, targeting Unearth, targeting Baleful Strix, and I get like a million cards. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I went with it, and that's kind of why I like it. Also, like you said, the Pike I chose to play over, say, like the Jite, which is kind of like the standard 2-drop equipment, because you'll have these turns where it's like you're sitting back on an 8/1 flying Death Touch first strike creature, and then you just re-equip to your Vendilion Click that you play end of turn and swing for like 15 the next turn or something. I mean, you just go through the cards so fast in the deck. Jite, I've tried out before, and the life gun would be appreciated, but Pike just goes the distance for me.
Got it. That sounds good. Then we'll finish off the main deck with just the Manabase. So looks pretty standard. Underground Seas, Polluted Deltas, Scalding Tarns, Misties, Standard Fetches, Wastelands, and your basics. Are you happy with your Manabase?
Pretty happy, yeah. Like when I first got into Legacy, I noticed a lot of decks play almost no basics. The rule is play enough to cast your most expensive spell. Be able to cast everything off of basics. But I really like having like a few extras, just for like the odd Path to Exile, or like I don't know. It's just nice to be able to start games out with fetch lands for basics if you can, in case you don't see the Wastelands game 1 or something like that, And yeah, Manabase
sounds good. Awesome. So lastly then, we just rounded out for the sideboard. So you want to just give us a quick overview? You got a lot of cards that have a lot of utility here. What is it that you like? What is it that you didn't like? And what do you got?
The 4th Force of Will is absolutely necessary. I didn't think so when I first started Legacy, but you really can't play a blue deck in Legacy without the full suite between the main and the board. It's just so important against decks like Charbelcher and Storm Combo and things like that. It's just absolutely pivotal. Pithing Needle is probably recently the card that I've been the happiest with. It was my last inclusion. I got wrecked in a quarterfinals, a semifinals against a countertop deck, and I really wanted to be able to answer decks that won off of Needle and Jace.
Yeah.
So that card just works against so many different things. Obviously the graveyard stuff you need, Dredge and Night of the Reliquary, things like that. Edicts are going to be there mostly for either hexproof or show and tell type decks where they just have 1 threat. Perish makes because of Snapcaster, it makes my Maverick matchup just crazy. Like, it's probably my favorite matchup. Just like Strix blocks everything. Strix just like kills Knight of the Reliquary, like kills Battered Skull tokens, and then just like Perish with Snapcaster, Perish again. It's very hard for them to win. And Submerge, Rug Delver, more Maverick, like the fetch land interaction thing to shuffle their creatures away. It's like really good.
I mean, what can you not say about Submerge? I mean, for those of you guys at home that don't know, if they activate Knight of the Reliquary or a fetch land or anything like that, you use Submerge in response to that, and then that knight or that creature or that whatever gets shuffled along with the land that you fetch. So a lot of utility.
Really good. Explosives may be the card that needs to go. Like, it doesn't do enough for me. I'm like really excited about Abrupt Decay from RTR. As soon as that comes out, this deck probably becomes a bug deck, and I probably get a little more utility out of like Pernicious Deed, maybe Nature's Claim. Abrupt Decay definitely is like a 4-of. It's probably just going to go in this deck as a 4-of and just become a bug deck, honestly.
Sounds like a plan. Well, Ben, I appreciate your time, and this is Brian Rubel signing off from MTG Deals.